Hey guys, Musa here from Quantum Home Improvements and Solutions. Welcome to our Christmas special live chat with Chicken Nugget and Louie.
G'day.
G'day all.
So this is the first time Louie's been on the channel. It's great having you, Louie.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah, so you guys won't know who this guy is, but we've done a lot together.
Absolutely,
And hopefully we'll make a video in the future together.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
And so yeah, when I went through my back injury back 6.5 years ago, Louie was very instrumental at that point. I had foot drop, and unfortunately I had to go back to work. And so we started the renovation on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And you did all the hard work, and I was sort of doing a lot of just the taking off the taps and sort of limping all over the place.
You were the brains, I was the muscle.
Yeah, and 1.5 weeks later, I was in hospital having a laminectomy, spinal operation, because my leg was paralysed. So, Louie, thanks very much for those times. You were very helpful to me. I wasn't sure what was happening to me. I should have gone to the doctors, and I was just trying to, I thought it was just a muscle injury. Anyway, it is what it is.
Not a problem.
Anyway, so it's Christmas time. It's come around so quickly. In actual fact, Marion's at the door here, and would like to give you guys just a little gift.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Marion.
So Marion's going to be on a shorts video in a couple of weeks, maybe. We're going to make another competition. She thinks she can beat me, so good luck with that. I'm looking forward to making it. Anyway, thanks, Marion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about a heap of stuff. There's a lot of things going on. And if you see George looking down at his phone, he's not being rude. In actual fact, he's just reading the messages for me.
Just got a live chat coming through, so any commentaries I'll put through. So hit the like buttons, subscribe, and any comments put through, and I'll read them through.
And also, Joe, which is Giuseppe, is in France at the moment.
Nice.
And so he watched the video from France in the morning. Probably would have been, I'm just guessing, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know.
I saw the comment from...
Yeah. And, mate, what a trooper from France. And so I'm not sure if he's going to be on the live chat because he is actually on holidays. But Joe, thanks very much. You're a good man. And Merry Christmas to you and your family in France. That's if you're still there for Christmas, if you're not moving around. Anyway, so, pardon me. So talking about Christmas, today I was doing some mowing earlier today. And so my face is burnt. You probably can see that on camera. I know I can feel it. And unfortunately, I think I've got a bit of heat stroke, so I'm sort of a bit all over the place. So sorry about that.
You're fine. You're looking good. You're fine. For a Friday.
So in actual fact, what happened? This is really interesting. I've got to explain to you why I mowed today. Last Saturday, I had to fix my ride-on mower. The whole guts of it fell out because I hit too many rocks with it, and it's the Razorback. It is a great mower, fantastic, but I shattered it. So it needed some welding. Okay. So now, when I have to bend or do something on the ground, it's really hard. You've seen when you and I were doing some work together, right?
Yep.
It is really hard for me. And so I welded it. It took me 2 hours to do a 10-minute job. But my physiotherapist, Joseph Nakul, was coming over just to watch a video him and I had made about physiotherapy because he's trying to help me to make these videos without so much pain. And he saw what I had on the ground. He didn't see me doing the work, but he saw it. He goes, "Did you do that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I can't believe it." Anyway, so he was a bit shocked. And unfortunately, I did get the mower going, by the way. It's fantastic. It works beautiful.
Of course you did.
But
Of course you
for
did.
5 days, I couldn't walk properly because I just was in a very uncomfortable position for around on and off for about 2 hours. And this is the price I pay. Most people know I don't sit down much these days. I'm sitting down now because my legs are hurting.
Yep.
But I will stand back up in a minute because if I sit too long, it's not good for me. So whenever I kneel or do something in a position where it's not good for me, I will pay the price after.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, you're going to put the beer out. There you guys.
Just a good time about Musa and resting.
Yeah.
The real reason why I came tonight. No, I'm joking.
I think I need a beer after today. Anyway, so today I had to mow because I was in a bit of pain. So very good. Look at that. This is the Cooper Cerveza, and I put an extra bit of malt in this one, so it's a little bit sweeter than normal. George,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait for me.
Merry Christmas.
We're going to drink without you. Sorry.
No, I'm too slow.
Luckily, I've got another bottle. Okay.
For Louie.
Merry
Louie.
Christmas. God bless you, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Musa.
So, by the way, on the table we do have some nibblies.
Fantastic.
Now, I made a video back a while ago about grapevines. They're called grapevines. In Lebanese, they're called warat anib. Can you give me your pronunciation, please?
Wara anib. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, I think you say it perfect. I'm not very good with Arabic. So anyway, Louie's a bit of a girl. He's not going to have any. But George has given it a go. Very nice. You're missing out, Louie.
I commit some food blasphemy in the Lebanese culture. I don't like what I
Is that why you're married to an Italian?
Pretty much, yeah. Someone predicted I'd marry an Italian when I was about 6.
Is that right?
I'm not joking because I love noodles and pasta that much. And an auntie of mine actually predicted I'd marry an Italian. And lo and behold, I married
just
lovely
my feedback. The lemon, the taste, delicious.
Yep.
So this is the first time you've tasted my what?
First time from your
Beautiful. What do you think? Give me a rating.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
8.5.
Oh, that's pretty high for you, George.
Warm with my mum. The mother.
You'd be in trouble if you said 10.
9. So 8.5 for Musa is probably equivalent
Very
to
different.
A lot of Lebanese grandmothers and mothers going, okay, challenge accepted.
Yeah, so Christmas Day will probably done.
Very good. You're a smart guy. You're a smart guy, George.
We've also got.
Yeah. I actually made something for George yesterday. My girls and I made them. And it's called marmoul. It's a dessert. It's a biscuit. And this one here that's sugared has walnuts in it. It also has orange blossom and rose water. It is very nice. So a lot of you probably, if you've seen Lebanese sweets, would know. I'm going to have some later.
Yep.
So the one on the left is walnuts. The one on the right is actually dates. Okay. So I haven't made a video on that yet, but I will in the future. I was going to make my sambusik video soon, but I think I might hold back on that one and just make this one first.
Okay, you invite me for that one because I'll definitely eat the sambusik.
That's a good one. It's a good one. Anyway, so today we released a video. You guys have watched it. So how to incubate jumbo quails. Yep. That was such a successful video. I'm very happy with the result. So when Dominic first asked me if I can incubate them, I said, let's give it a shot. And we tried some Jap quails, so Japanese quail eggs. They're only little ones, right? They're tiny. They're actually falling through my incubator. So I had to prop them up with tissues. And so my incubator can take 196, I think, 198 eggs. Mm-hmm. And so he gave me 20 and I incubated them, but only 12 were fertile. And out of the 12, all of them hatched. It was just brilliant. It was fantastic. I was really excited. So when he asked me to make a video on quails, jumbo quails, I thought, bring it on, because they're bigger eggs. They sit in the Barotto incubator much better.
Yep.
And so he gave me 96, and out of the 96, a bit of a disappointment, I only had 71 that were fertile, and 3 of them were cracked. I noticed 2 of them cracked in the initial stage, and then when I candled the eggs on the 6th day, I found there was another one cracked. So a bit disappointing where he got it from his supplier. And a lot of them had poo on them. You do not incubate eggs with poo on them. No. Now the reason being, when chicks lay their eggs, no matter what kind of bird or what kind of pheasant, any kind of bird, any kind of fowl, they have what they call a bloom on it. Okay, it's a protein. It's a foam that comes out from the egg. You would have seen if a chicken lays the egg, it's wet.
Yep. Okay.
That's the bloom.
Yep.
And then when it dries up, it protects the egg for around about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, if you've got poo on your egg and you put them in an incubator, which is usually 2.5 to 3 weeks, what's going to happen to that?
The bacteria.
Not nice.
Bacteria is just going to explode the egg because it's going to become infected, and all the chicken side will die and it'll explode. Right? It'll just and if it does explode, and I've had that happen once, it contaminates all the other eggs. Right?
Okay.
So I didn't put the poo eggs in, but as soon as I closed the lid, I thought, you know what? Off video, and I don't usually do this, but off video, I thought, no, stuff it. I'm going to pull out my hydrogen peroxide 3%. Give these things a wash like I normally do with normal chicken eggs, because that's what I do. I take the bloom off.
Yep.
Right, and people get very angry with that.
Why is it controversial?
Yeah, you said in the video it was controversial.
Very controversial. People say you should not take the bloom off.
Leave it on.
But putting in an incubator is not natural, as is putting hydrogen or washing with hydrogen peroxide. Now, I've discovered recently from a very intelligent guy who's gone to university and knows a lot about the genetics of chickens, right, and any kind of birds. And he was telling me that there's something better than hydrogen peroxide 3%.
Okay.
And he said that when they were this guy is in his 80s, and he said that they used to use an oil. So now I'm not 100% which oil, but I will be making a video in the future using an oil. Okay. Now, this is really interesting because when you take the bloom off, and you use hydrogen peroxide, it means it's left to its own devices. So if you have any airborne particles in the incubator,
It's exposed.
It's exposed, and then they can become contaminated because that hydrogen peroxide only lasts for a period as well. Okay, so when chickens are in nature, they have the bloom. It lasts 2 weeks. Now the chickens don't sit on their eggs straight away. They wait until there's a few of them, and then they'll sit on the eggs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then once they sit on the eggs, they trigger off the incubation process, right?
Okay.
So and that lasts usually for chickens for 21 days. So the bloom is gone by then, right? Mm-hmm. But the chickens themselves have an oil on them, a natural oil. So they're sitting on them and they keep rotating their eggs and they're putting the oil over the eggs, right? So it actually protects the egg. That's how they're protected in nature.
Wow.
Now, so this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why I may try an oil, but I've got to use the right one. I've got to discover what were they using back 50, 60 years ago. Okay. So I'm going to find out from this guy. I didn't have a long conversation with him, or not long enough anyway. And I want to find that out. So I'm really interested to make a video on, and I was supposed to make a chicken video, but it didn't work out, and released later this month, but it didn't happen. So I'm going to be releasing sometime early next year.
Okay. Sounds good.
Really looking forward to that. I love incubating any kind of fowls. Okay, so but there's a lot to it. Now, what's really interesting is that us human beings have a thing called chicken pox. Now, chickens or birds also have the same. It's a different strain, but guess what they call it? They can't call it chicken pox.
No.
It's already taken.
So it's pox? No.
They call it fowl pox.
Okay.
Now, fowl pox kills fowls. Okay, it kills them. Any kind of bird. Right, and so you've got to have a clean environment for chickens, right? You can have a natural one, but it's still got to be clean.
Yep.
Okay, and so that's why they've got to have fresh water all the time. So what I'm going to do, the next video won't just be about incubating; it's going to be a comprehensive how to raise them as well.
Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioning in the video that you had to
Yeah,
wait
so I
and
will
change
be
the
doing
water.
it,
Yep.
but this time also I may use this oil if I can get my hands on this product that they were using back, and they had a high success rate in that. Okay. But it's labour intensive, and anything labour intensive, generally speaking, they don't do. So the commercial chicken producers, the hatcheries, they're using some kind of either hydrogen peroxide or some other method of cleaning their eggs.
Yep.
Okay, and then it's totally sanitized. If you watch videos on them, they're producing millions and millions of chickens a year, and they have these big incubators that fit probably 10,000 eggs.
Believe it or not, Moose, I've actually been in one.
Yeah.
We went to a wedding in Adelaide, and I'm talking 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And on the bride's side, her parents actually raised chickens.
Yeah.
And they took us for a little tour, but we had to wear these special boots.
Yeah, you have to, because you're bringing bacteria.
Yeah. And it's like a massive, almost like a warehouse, like a dome, sort of half-dome warehouse. And filled with thousands and thousands of chickens.
Do they raise their chickens as well, or they just send them off?
No, I think they raise them and then they send them off. Oh, no,
It's because there's hatcheries that just hatch chickens and then send them off.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so in this case here, they're raising. Now, when they're raising chickens, this is really interesting. They have them in sheds these days, if they're not free range, right?
Yeah.
And when they have them in the sheds, massive sheds. Guess what they do when the chickens are now at their later age or they're ready for dispatching? So they go through with massive cleaners and they
Wash them.
pressure clean everything, every single thing to get rid of all the poo and everything, because that poo becomes bacteria for the next lot.
Yep.
And it will kill a lot of chickens if you don't, or a lot of chicks if you don't have that. So you really have to be very thorough in raising chickens. You have to feed them the right food. Now, in the quail video, we discovered, and thank you to Peter from Velafeed. He's a great guy. He gives me a lot of information. He's just fantastic. He gives me a lot of his time. Really appreciate it. If you are listening, Peter, thank you very much. And so with the quails, I discovered that you should be feeding hatched quails. It's called meat bird starter. Okay, so it's really important because quails grow very quickly. They become adults in 6 weeks. They become fertile in 6 weeks.
Ah, okay, yep.
Chickens are 18 to 26 weeks.
Okay.
6 weeks they're ready to eat, like at full size.
Yeah,
and so
your guest at the end explains it.
Yeah.
Dominic. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you feed them right. And if you're not gonna use the meat bird chick starters, then they don't get the energy and all the vitamins and minerals and proteins they need. And so Dominic has just taken it on. He's starting to use it. And he just told me earlier today that he's very excited. He said they're all doing well because he would have sometimes some fatalities, and that happens when you're raising chicks. He said there's no fatalities using the meat chick starters, so meat bird chick starters. So thanks, Peter. You are brilliant. Thank you very much, and I thank you for your time.
We just got 2 live chats. If you want to go through it.
Yeah, please.
So a live chat from Joseph Azzy by saying Merry Christmas to Musa.
Hey, Joseph.
We got another comment just on the hatching saying, quote, you also get a higher hatch rate if you turn the eggs once a day before you set them in the incubator.
Yes. In the storing period, I never mentioned that actually. There's each fowl has different levels of storage period. So with the quails, they say it should be only 6 days. Now, Dominic reckoned it was 7 days. So with chickens, it's I'm talking about higher probability stages. So with chickens is any more than 7 days generally is not good. So that is a really good point. I don't mention them on the videos because it becomes a little bit complicated. So yes, you're supposed to be turning your eggs as you're storing them before you put them in the incubator, before you start the actual incubation process. So and that does help as well.
That was from Gaz, so thank you Gaz for that.
Thank you Gaz.
Thank
you.
A lot of detail going into this. It's not as simple as it looks. Like people just think.
No, there's an art to it, and people, especially when it comes to the bloom, and a lot of people get very upset when you say that you wash the eggs. So I don't want to upset people, but we've just got to be realistic that incubating is not a natural process. It is not a natural process. So you've got to counterattack that process with something that's going to be stable for these eggs. That you give them the best chance to survive.
Yep. Okay.
And that's what I like to do. I like to give the best chance for the chicks to survive.
Well, it was proven in the video.
Yeah, 90% high.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So out of the 90%, we got 71 that were fertile, and out of that, 64 hatched.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. 2 didn't make it. I mentioned that on video.
Yep.
But unfortunately, when you are incubating, when you are, hatching chicks, you will, at the later stage, within probably the next day, probably 2 days, you'll get a couple that will die. It's just natural. Yep. Now, and this is one thing I didn't mention on the video, but if you incubate your chicks at the wrong temperature, you'll also get spline legs and all these kind of other things happening. They won't be healthy.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah, so you've got to be careful with that. But as Peter told me from Velafeed, spline legs also, it's another thing that very important, probably that people don't know, but if you noticed, I put a cloth down in the incubator.
Yeah.
Now, I did that because if their legs get caught,
you explain, yeah.
Okay, that actually damages their feet. And Peter says that's actually what gives them spine legs.
Oh,
Okay. So I told Peter, my discovery was because of the cold temperature. When I first started incubating chicks, there was a lot of misinformation on the computer, and I was incubating at 36 and a half degrees.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I was getting a lot of spline legs, right? And then I discovered it's supposed to be 37 and a half, right? So misinformation. And so I had a lot of them with spine legs. Now I learned to actually try to help the chickens fix their feet up, and I actually do fix them, especially if they got curled toes. You can actually open them up again with sticky tape and just let it create boots for them, and it works really well. And actually their feet do open up, and it's really good. So it's good that you can actually help a chick with spline legs or with the curled toes, but it's best not to get them there in the first place. So I put that cloth down, and I'm sure Barotto is going to say you shouldn't do that. But guess what? It really helped the chicks to survive. They all worked. They walked beautifully. None of them had spline legs. Nothing. And usually I get spline legs if I don't use that cloth. And Peter confirmed it. He goes, it's them damaging their legs, trying to get them out of those little
gaps.
Those gaps. The grate.
Okay.
Yeah. So Louis, chips, biscuits.
Yep, I'm enjoying.
I'm gonna have some.
You better hurry up. I'll finish them for you.
I've got 2 comments on top of that. If you want to go through those comments, so from Gaz also. Kaz Kai Pond, he says, hens are also a great point to lay at 16 to 18 weeks, but not necessarily fertile at such a young age. He also says you can split the legs with tape to help them build up the muscles.
Correct. And I've done that and it works beautifully. Kaz, you're a genius. It does work. Works really well.
Thanks for the comment, guys. Put them through and send them through.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you participated in this, guys. So yeah, that's really good. And also, with the quails, I mean, I did give them to Dominic. I did them for him. He asked me, and I gave it to him. And but I really, I had a lot of videos to make when he was asking me, and I had to try to squeeze it in. And Dominic didn't realise how under pressure I was. I mean, I've got a lot of videos. Look on the board there, Joe. Georgie. So Nugget. See all those the list there of all the videos I'm going to make, or have been made and still need to be edited.
Plus.
I have a lot of work. So when Dominic asked me to make this video, I really did my head in. I was just saying, how am I going to fit this in? But I'm really glad that he did actually give me a little bit of a push, because it turned out to be a brilliant video. I was very happy with it.
Yes.
And I've never incubated jumbo quails before. And geez, they're pretty birds.
Yeah.
They are such pretty birds. I love them. Really good. So I might do some for myself in the future.
What about the Filipino touch food? Jay, that you mentioned that, Jay, at a certain point you can actually eat them.
Yes. Okay. The Filipinos have this thing called balut.
Balut.
Okay. It's usually with duck eggs, and usually around about 2 or 3 days before they hatch. So if the chicks usually hatch, or the ducks hatch, I think ducks, I can't remember actually. I think ducks are 23 days. I can't remember. I haven't done ducks before. And so what they do is boil the eggs.
Yep.
Probably 2 or 3 days before they're supposed to hatch. And so what they do, and then they peel the eggs and they eat them as a traditional dish. So they call that balut.
Okay.
Now, as a joke, I was telling my friend Ray, my Filipino friend Ray, that I'm going to make some balut for him. And anyway, so I didn't end up making the chicken video, but instead when I made the quail video, when there was a lockdown on the 14th day, and I referred to Ray. And so I spoke to Ray today anyway, he's excited to watch it. So if you boil the quail eggs at 14 days, you can have little entrees, balut.
I'll take your word for it, Musa.
I think every nationality's got some kind of cuisine that makes your eyes curl a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in actual fact, I'm making food for Christmas, and my girls and my wife have been helping us, and we made a dish called kibba. Gabi. Okay, depends how you pronounce it.
Kibba.
Kibba.
Yep.
Now, if you don't make kibba properly, it's made out of lamb's meat, and also some people do half beef and lamb. Now, if you don't do it properly, you can have a problem, because you actually eat this raw with onions and also with cracked wheat.
Yep.
Okay, and heaps of herbs and spices and all this type of thing. So it's a raw dish usually served, but I don't like it because I have problems with onions. Okay, they give me anaphylactic reactions if I have other foods mixed with it, and so I make the fried version. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So it's called bekib. Okay.
Bekib.
Yeah, or kebekib.
Okay. Yep.
How do you pronounce it?
To be honest with you, I didn't know it was called that. I won't lie.
Yeah. So I call them grenades. They look like grenades.
Oh, kebab. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
How do you pronounce it?
What do we pronounce? We say kebab, isn't it?
Kebab.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you say with the K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, in Arabic, the K is not always used. It's sometimes silent. God rest his soul, my father's name was Ablan, but spelt with a K, Kablan.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so this K sometimes is silent. So some people do pronounce the K, some do not. So this dish, bekib, as I call them, is frozen usually, and then you fry them on the day. Just let them defrost and fry. And so that has nice little mincemeat and pine nuts and onions. It's a beautiful dish. Now, in the raw version, if you don't make it properly,
Gibinaya, yeah, I think.
Gibinaya, which means raw meat.
Raw meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so if you don't make it properly, you wouldn't feed it to your guests.
No.
What would you do with it?
What? Gibinaya. That's gone wrong.
Okay. What would you call it in Arabic?
What? Gibinaya that's gone wrong?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
You'd have to kibbe.
Oh, you have to throw it out. Well done. Yeah. Okay. Gibbe in Arabic, means throw or to throw. Sorry. Well done. I like that one. Well done.
That's a Lebanese joke. Sorry, guys. I don't speak much Arabic.
Gibinaya, I'll eat it. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't dislike it. I don't mind it either. My Italian wife and my oldest
she loves it,
go crazy over it.
But if you put the onions in, the onions itself actually kills bacteria, right?
Yeah,
so it actually is fine to eat.
As to the flavour,
but you have to have high quality meat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and drizzle with oil.
It's,
it can't look with the onion, and it's not
it's
bad.
It's usually eaten with bread as well.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Yeah, yep. So anyway,
traditionally they drink it with a bit of arak too, didn't they?
Yeah. I was going to give you some arak today.
Nah, I'd fall asleep if I had a sip of it.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a lightweight.
We had it on the last live feed.
Did you hear that?
It looked like it was water.
Did you hear that?
What?
Before.
He says I'm a lightweight.
I am. Well, okay. When it comes to alcohol, yes, obviously, but
You didn't hear that, did you? He sort of whispered it.
I was trying to sneak it in there. But... Oh well.
Anyway, so there's a few things I want to go through today, and so the video I did prior to the incubating quails was how to spray paint. Now I've already made a video on that, and I did a beautiful blend. Now that car has now gone.
The van, the Hi-Ace?
That was the last video,
yeah.
but the video I did prior to that, the panel beating with my own car, which is Holden Cruise. I think that's the American name, Cruise as well, General Motors Cruise.
Yep.
Anyway, someone went in the back of me. He was very sorry, and beautiful guy named Nick. Very good guy, very, very sorry, but I had to get another car. They wrote it off.
After all that work.
So the car's gone. The car's gone. Anyway, so when Rob and Eka saw my video, they straight away contacted me. Musa, any chance you could look at our van? Mm-hmm. And I said, guys, I've already done a panel beating video spray paint. I don't need to do another one. But then when I saw them at church one morning, I had a look and I thought, this is metallic.
Yeah.
It's very hard to blend a metallic. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to blend metallic and give this a shot. Anyway, so it worked out beautiful.
Yeah, it did. It looked fantastic.
And Auto West, man, they're fantastic.
Right.
To put in a spray can, the colour, and they matched it to the paint. They went to the van and made sure it's matched. And it was like a 95% match. It was just brilliant.
Wow.
It wasn't perfect. But it's so high up, I really didn't care. And they don't care because it's so high up. The problem is the thing was rusty and it needed protection and it had no protection. So we needed to clean that thing up. And they had a quote on that and it was so exorbitant. They couldn't believe it. But it was a just price because it's a lot of work. If you have to paint the whole roof, you'd have to set up scaffolds or something to get up there.
It's labour intensive, yeah.
I kept the scaffold in one spot. Right? And even then, I mean, with my back, it was quite hard.
Yeah.
And my physiotherapist wasn't happy with me because when I went to see him, I said, man, I can't walk. I've been on a scaffold for 3 days. Anyway.
It's such a high van.
It was, 2.7 metres. It's actually really high.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so look, it's fantastic. 2.7? 2.3? No, 2.3.
Yeah.
My door's 2.7, I think. Anyway, it was high up, but yeah, it was beautiful. And Rob, he keeps... saying to me, thank you very much. It was a great video to make, and because the van was so high, Rob had to carry the tripod with the gimbal and camera up in the air for hours and hours and hours.
He'd have big shoulders now.
Oh, mate, he did such a great job.
Yeah.
But the only problem, and this leads into what you were saying earlier, the only problem is I had to spend 3 days with him while he was wearing a Rabbitohs t-shirt.
Oh, no.
Seriously.
No
Do you know how painful that was?
I
I found that really hard.
Come on,
Like,
right?
there's nothing manly about that.
I was gonna say it could be worse. Could have been a Manly jersey, but anyways.
Hey Louie, did you hear Manly won the grand final?
No, I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah.
No, are you sure?
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah. I think you've been saying that for the last 5 months.
It's been a hard few years.
Yeah. Try being a St George supporter.
Yes, I do feel sorry for you. Anyway, George.
I've got a few comments. But
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it quickly. So Gaz also replies, just 2 quick ones, but he says, my dad and I many years ago did a small project to get my kids to eat more eggs. By breeding hens that lay different colour eggs over
beautiful.
10 years. So he also says it's easy to blend by, he's talking about now obviously the car and the grind. He goes, it's not easy to blend by thinning out the paint and then the dust coat by the last coat of 75% thinner and 25% metallic coat.
Yeah. So guys, if you watch that video, that's exactly what I did. I had to use the thinner. So that worked out brilliant. You couldn't do a blend without that thinner on a metallic. I did it without on my white car. It turned out brilliant, right? I didn't need the thinners, but I had a bigger area where I can work with.
Yeah.
Here was restricted. So I used the thinners and it blended in beautifully. You need to use the blend thinner. Yeah. So they come in a spray can as well. So you're right, Gaz. It definitely needs the blend. It won't work because what happens with metallic, it's got aluminium particles in there and it sprays over. And if you put the clear on top of that, you'll be painting over it and it will glitter the clear. The clear will glitter the aluminium.
Yep.
So you got to spray that to settle it down into the paint.
Okay.
So I think that's the term you could use. I don't know, but it basically blends it in.
Okay.
And then you spray the clear on top of that. Okay, so that worked really, really well. and very happy with that result.
No, it was. I saw that video and it was fantastic. I can't believe the result.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to talk about other videos now. And Gaz, if you have any other questions for other videos, please just keep throwing them in. I'm happy to change over. Now, I've got to talk about Joseph Suka. Now, we have a pen here. It's Intellect Finance.
Very good.
Now, this is Joe Suka's business, and he gave me a pen the other day. Thank you, Joe. It was very gracious of you. He also gave me a pad. I'm using my big one. The other one's a little bit smaller. Anyway, so we made a video recently. I released it 3 videos ago. How to bring your driveway back to new. And so his driveway was coloured after the concrete was put in. So you can either do it 2 ways. You can put a colour in your concrete, and then just put a sealer.
Yep.
Or you can concrete and then spray, put your oxide on top, right? And so his was stenciled and oxide on top after. And then they took the stencil off.
Is one better than the other, or does it really matter? Or?
Yeah, it's better to have the colour in the cement. Then that way, every time you put it clear, it's looking pretty good.
Okay.
That's the best way to do it. But it's very expensive as well. Okay. And it's actually hard to deal with. Plus, when you put your stencil on top, you're not getting that white, the grey coming through the colour as well. So the white looks like you've made it look like a paver finish. You don't get that.
Okay. Yep.
So there is pros and cons to it, right? Cool. Anyway, so speaking to my friend Darren Spagnol, who does this for a living, we got some pointers. We got some pointers from Inspiration. Ryan was just spot on. And so we made that video, but it was a hot day. And Ryan said try to do it around 25 degrees Celsius, and we did. But the sun was right on us. We had no, respite from the sun. And so we were cutting in all the areas, over all the stenciled areas. By the way, Darren says you don't need to cut into the stencil areas. Now, the reason I did that because I didn't think we were going to get a good coating in them, so I did it by hand. Now, you can and can't, it doesn't really matter. Ryan thought it was okay. But anyway, so the camera in the sun is not good, and I use just a Samsung, right, on a gimbal. And what happened, the camera kept fading, it kept stopping. And when it does that, if it closes down, you lose footage. Okay. So I said to Joe, we're going to have to put it in the shade. And so I said to him in the video when we first started, have you got an umbrella? And so as we're going around, it clicked to him why we needed the umbrella. He goes, did you ask the umbrella for me or for us or for the camera? I said, no, for the camera. That started it off. We were just laughing our heads off from then on. Oh, and he was joking around about the heat. You don't care about me. You care about your camera. I hope the camera's okay. Musa, do you think the camera's thirsty? Because I am. Oh, that was a killer. He was killing me. He just wouldn't stop. Literally for 1 hour, he just wouldn't stop. So I had to put that into the bloopers. And it's funny, when he was putting that sand or the crushed glass into the bottle, and we're trying to get it in, it wouldn't go in fast enough. I should have just done it slowly. It would have went in faster. Anyway, and he makes a comment. I said, it's like sand's in an hourglass. And he's looking at me, he's shaking it, trying to get in. And then I just turned around, like sands in an hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
I can't believe I knew. I knew you were going to say that.
And you know what? Honestly, when I watched it, I thought that was perfect, like pitched perfect. And I thought I'm going to put the music to that and put it in the bloopers, and it turned out brilliant. And I've never watched the show. No, I turned it on once, and someone hated someone trying to kill him, and then I was like, doing my head in. So anyway, I turned it off. Anyway, so that was funny. That was so funny. And Joe,
did you end up giving him a drink afterwards, or no? Was he still?
Well, it was his house.
Okay.
Far out, man. Who's giving who a drink? Look, behind the scenes, Joe was actually bringing water out to us all the time. He was just being a smart aleck on camera. Yeah. He was playing it up. He was hamming it up. He was, as I said, he was becoming theatrical. He was actually doing it on purpose. And so, in actual fact, George and I will be making a video, hopefully in time. And there's like 3 projects at his house, so we'll see which one comes first. And
definitely.
Yeah, and George, he's not saying much right now because he's trying to concentrate on messages. But George is actually he doesn't have a suit, but he actually is a clown. So I'm looking forward to making a video with him.
Let's do it.
And the bloopers are going in, I can tell you now. They're going in. And by the way, anyone who's not sure, when I make videos, if there's a blooper, I will never ever put them in unless the person gives me authority. Okay, just so you know, they all know it's going in.
It's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I never put anything without someone watching it. Okay, it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do not want to embarrass anyone, But if we're having fun and that person can see it and they're happy to
they can take a
upload
joke.
it, we want to bring joy to people, and it doesn't always happen, but there's been a few videos where there's been some funny moments. We put them in.
Yeah, why not?
It's fantastic.
It's all part of it, absolutely.
So yeah, Louie, you and I will have to make a video in the future too.
Okay.
God willing, hopefully Emmanuel will be okay, and we can.
Thank God.
Yeah, and we can make a video. So anyway,
you can make a benet for the wife.
Yeah. You know what? We're not making the Beck Kid video. I will make a Beck Kid video, which is the grenades as I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I will actually make the raw meat version and say when it is at that point, and probably display a little bit on a plate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll make the grenades.
Yeah. 2 in the one video. Yeah, why not?
Let's try it.
Let's try. You guys are looking at them. And
So as I said, this one here has the dates. These ones here have walnuts, and they are beautiful. So they're made from semolina. Okay, and both. So you're a dates person.
Yeah, I'll give it a crack. I'm not a fan of I'll be honest with you. Again,
You're not a fan of walnuts?
I'm not a fan of ma'amul in general, but I'll give it.
But how about the walnuts? Would you prefer walnuts over dates?
I'll probably get dates actually.
Thank you. Sorry, George.
Good choice.
You're in the loner here.
I got more for me then. I got more for me.
Thanks, George.
Oh, very good.
Just on the comments.
What do you think? Oh, sorry. Yep.
No, you go for it. Just on the comments is Gaz was just saying to all of us, happy holiday season. So obviously Merry Christmas also likewise from us into the group and obviously from Quantum. But he also made a quote just on the thinners quickly. He said that 100% the thinners make the metal flake stands out on the edges.
Yep.
To turn them fading out, he goes from 16 to 18 inches away.
Yep.
That's his comment. So that would probably be more for you.
In actual fact, that's the first time I ever used a gas, and I think I was too close on it. I didn't have any runs, but I said be careful because you will get runs. And that was told to me by Auto West. So Ryan, there's 2 Ryans here. So Ryan from Auto West also said, be really careful, you could get runs with this one. Okay. He said, but you need to do it. So I took it on faith that he was correct. I've done a lot of spraying in my time, but very little of actual blending or spraying of metallic. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of the cars I've sprayed in my youth were generally just a plain colour, just a solid colour.
Yep.
Joseph Knuckleholder says, Merry Christmas from Joe.
Hey, Joseph! We mentioned you earlier, just in case you didn't hear it. So the next video will be, as I mentioned earlier, with Joseph Knuckleholder and myself. As I mentioned earlier, when I was doing the welding of my lawnmower, Joseph freaked out a little, and it took 5 days to recover properly. And you've got to be careful with when you've got either a spinal injury or chronic pain. Yep. If you push too hard, you can actually go to a point where you could do some damage. So I know when I have to stop. Usually 3 days of pain is the benchmark when you've done damage or fatigued yourself or you need to recover. So Joseph was very kind, came to my house and we made a video and he corrected some of my exercise in the hydro pool.
Very good.
Plus him and I have been working behind the scenes. So what happened after I had my second decompression of my spine, I did not do any land-based exercise. I did all my exercise in the hydro pool and my right leg is actually weaker than my left. Okay, because it was another stenosis, it was another compression of my nerve system. And so Joseph has identified in his practice that the back part of my right leg was weaker than my front. Now, thank you, Joseph, but my right leg is now stronger. I'm getting less cramps.
Very good.
Okay, I'm still having issues doing videos, but in time, he said that he's going to show me how to bend and pick up things. Now, my doctors, my specialists, when I had the operation, both 3 of them actually, they said don't bend and pick up at all. And they said the maximum you can carry is 20 kilos. Now, because of that, you become weaker. So I don't carry anything more than 10 kilos these days. Yep. It actually fatigues me.
Yeah.
So he wants me to get back to carrying things again, but he's going to show me a specific way how to do it. So behind the scenes, again, he's been slowly building me up to different type of exercises that that will strengthen me up. So hopefully I'll make videos a bit easier. I'll still be slow because the Cauda-Equina syndrome is a permanent damage of my nerve system, which means that I'm slow and the signals are not going totally to my legs. So that's fine. Joe's going to help me through that, and I really do appreciate everything Joe's doing. And in actual fact, Joe and I, Joseph Knuckleholder and I are going to be making a video sometime early next year, maybe mid next year.
Yep.
I'm not sure when I'm going to release it. Probably early next year, but we're going to release it a little later. making a shrine. Okay, so it's going to be out of timber.
Okay.
Okay, we want a mobile shrine because he wants to relocate and move because he hasn't got that much room where he can actually locate it. So we're going to put it in a couple of different spots.
Okay.
So anyway, him and I are going to make that video. And the great thing about him making a video with me, as I said to him yesterday, is that he can actually show me when I'm in a position whether it's right or wrong for me.
Not, yeah.
He can correct me while I'm making videos. So he's going to be first hand correcting me on trying to reduce the amount of pain that I'm going through. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, Joseph. Now, so the video, I'm going to jump to the next video. The video I released before the driveway video of Joseph Suka was with Angel, and it was how to identify, how to understand why gutters overflow with water. Okay. Now with Angel, there was a number of issues, not one, but it was like 5 issues. We found out later his pipes were slightly blocked. Not slightly, they were permanently blocked. So we had to clean them out. But also, the leaves is a problem.
Yep.
The gutter size is the problem. He had quad gutters and they're small. Okay, so that'll cause an overflow. And what he had done, he put an awning on his roof going the same direction. And so then that awning's loading the downpipes.
Okay.
So he's got so much water coming into the one or the 2 downpipes. So we put a third one to release some of the pressure. The gutters are actually supposed to fall they're supposed to be up high and fall to the downpipes, the outlets.
Yep.
His was actually going the other direction. So we put a downpipe in the middle to relieve it. Now, unfortunately, it's still leaking.
Okay.
Now, we have identified that maybe his pipes might still be blocked, but it's also in the building term, they call this hydraulics. Okay, so the hydraulics are completely wrong. He's got way too much water coming into the one area or the 2 areas. He really needs, and the pipework he's got underground is 90 mil pipes. Now, what's that in inches? That's probably 4 inches is 100 mil, so it's 9.5 inches.
So, yeah.
9.5 inch pipe. It's not 9.5, 3.5 inch pipe. Yeah, so 4 inches, 100 mil.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 3.5 inch pipe, 90 mil, so under 4 inches. And so the capacity of that pipe is this small. What they're doing in Australia and New South Wales now, they use sewer pipe underground. They use the 90 mil, the 3.5 inch pipe outside on from the roof down, so it can fit the gutter system.
Yep.
So his is 90 mil all the way to the mains, to the stormwater mains. And so what that means that the size is like this, but if you're using a sewer pipe, they're 4.5 inch. So their size is actually this big. Okay, so the capacity of water flow is greater.
Okay.
So he's got a number of issues there. We alleviated some of them, but he still has some issues. So he does have to unblock the other side of his piping, I would say, because there's a lot of leaves in that area.
And what we have in Sydney is you might have like a sporadic heavy rain period. We had one this week.
Is the problem.
Out of nowhere, and you get smashed by a storm, by a rain, and that's kind of where you start seeing these leaks. But other than that, you kind of wouldn't notice until there's a massive storm, which we get regularly here in Sydney.
Do you recommend the gutter guards, Musa? You know, that protects the leaves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the market, and so just a plug to our friends at Steel Roofing Supply Centre. They sell different type of gutter guards.
Okay, very good.
I used to work at Steel Roofing Supply Centre when they were started off in Meadowbank. Back in 91, I was there, and I stayed there for about 4 years. And actually, that's where I did a lot of my learning to get my builder's license.
Very good.
Anyway, so the guys at Steel Roofing Supply Centre are brilliant. So they've got 4 branches now. So they've got Botany, Ryde, and actually there's Meadowbank. Botany, Meadowbank, Penrith, and it's in Campbelltown. Where is it? Somewhere around Campbelltown anyway. So, yeah.
Narellan or around that? Or
it's around that area,
okay, cool.
Yeah, if you like Archie, I'll put a link below. So, yeah, for gutter guard, definitely a good idea. If you are changing your gutters, I would definitely recommend to not put a small gutter, but a bigger one. So, I have on mine what they call half round. So, they've got a flat back and it's round.
Yeah.
And so, they're huge. They take a lot of capacity. Plus, they have a gutter guard on top and it's a metal one.
Yep.
So, when it rains heavy, it still runs off that gutter guard. It doesn't collect it quick enough. But then I've got what they call overflows. So they're slotted, the gutters are slotted and they have an overflow. Purposely, because if the gutter's too high, the water will leak out. Okay, instead of going back into the soffit, into the eaves, and then making its way into the house.
Okay.
So it's really important. So yeah, I do apologise for Angel. We try to fix the problem. I think there's still some room there. But when we have, as you said, flash flooding, no one can stop any kind of water running over. It's just going to run over the gutter. It's just, no matter what you do. Flash flooding is just going to happen.
What, we had 30 or 40 mil the other day?
Yeah,
what,
one hit.
A few hours?
One hit.
My gutters were completely full.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can't stop that. Yeah, there's this... Yeah, I don't know how you... Why?
Now, upcoming videos. I've already mentioned the one with Joseph Nakul, the physiotherapist. That's coming up. That will be released in 2 weeks from today. It's already uploaded, ready to go. And I'm looking forward to that video coming out. A lot of people suffer spinal injuries or chronic back pain. So this video is about chronic back pain, not just spinal injury. It just happens that that's what I go through.
Yep.
Now, if you do your exercises properly, you can reduce your chronic back pain to a minimum. Okay, the problem is if I sit down, it increases it. Hence why I stand a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so most of the time I'm standing or I'm kneeling.
Yep.
And I mentioned it on video. So I do have problems with my hands. I have a bone problem here, and I do drop things involuntarily, and I have carpal tunnel bad hands. So I do need to have operations on my hands. I'll probably just do the carpal tunnel and leave the other one until it's absolutely necessary, because they do need to reduce my bone apparently. And it's a 12-month fix, and I can't stop making videos for 12 months.
No way.
And so, yeah, anyway, regardless. So, so that's upcoming. That's a really good video. And then the one before, after that will be, hopefully, if I can edit in time, will be tiling my al fresco area. After 1 year of waiting, we were supposed to do it last January. After 1 year of waiting, my friend Louie, my very good friend Louie, my school friend, came and did the tiling for me. And it was a great video. Too long at this point. I'm going to try to get it down a bit. It's really a long video because there's a lot of information on how to do proper tiling on a slab. So usually if you've got an area that's sort of undulating, you need to do a screed on top and then tile on top of that so you've got a flat area. Now Louis did it without screeding. But saying that, my concreter, Jason, did a great job and screeded it beautifully. There wasn't many highs and lows, and Louis did a great job using floor levelers. Using levelers, which are a device which connects the tiles to the right height, just stops the lipping. So I'm looking forward to that video and looking forward to seeing what Louis says about that.
Sounds good.
And the video after that will be renovating bathrooms with my friend Eugene. Now, we've made that video 3 months ago, but it's 80 hours of video. So it's going to have to be a 2 video, and there's still going to be 2 long videos. So I've got to edit it down to under an hour for 2 videos. Sorry guys to do that. I'll probably release them back to back. I'm looking forward to that. That is a really good video. That is who I am.
Is it a big bathroom or was it just...
No, it's an ensuite. Ensuite. Now, because I've got a spinal injury, Eugene had to do a lot of the work for me.
So there must be a lot of bloopers.
Oh, there's a few. Okay. Eugene was driving me mad with, let's go. So I'm going to put all them in. Just, let's go. Anyway, Eugene is a Singaporean. He's going back to Singapore, I believe, in another week or so, or thereabouts. So I need to release this video while he's in Singapore, because I did mention his dad, who used to be in the building trade. So I'd like to, just a call out to his dad. Good guy. I've met him. And Eugene's a great guy. I'm actually the godfather for his daughter, Elizabeth.
Very good.
Anyway, very good. So the channel's going really well. We're getting close to an hour. We will be finishing up. And George, any other comments?
No, besides everyone just saying good night, Merry Christmas, just the commentary.
Fantastic.
So everyone's obviously wishing us
thank you.
Christmas period.
Yeah, thank you. I know Marcel was coming on the video too. So Marcel, it's good to see you. And Marcel and I will be making a video in the future. As I said, I've got a lot on this list here. There's 20 videos. Some are already made, just need editing. But there will be one with Marcel where we're going to be putting a mechanical ventilator in his studio, which is underground, just to get some of the moisture out of the room. We probably do some gigs. My son Michael is a great guitarist. He also plays other instruments, and he's the guy that plays all my music on my videos. So I'm hoping I can get my son on there. He's a little camera shy, but I love his music. Great guy.
Very talented.
Yeah,
speaking
very
of Marcel just replied saying, "Have a great, blessed Merry Christmas, guys." Thank you, Marcel.
You're a good man, Marcel. And because you gave us a nice message, I won't play your video again. Let's go.
Let's go, Marcel.
There are some... I do want to mention, there are a lot of brewing videos coming up. So I released Sparkling Ale just recently. That's really good.
No, I was just talking.
I thought you were telling me something.
No, I wasn't.
And so Sparkling Ale, that's fantastic. But Brother Jeff has now become Father Jeff. And so he asked if we could make another video, and we've started making a video of rice wine. So Father Jeff has a little bit of Chinese heritage. So his great-great-great-grandfather came to Australia for the gold rush in the 1800s, married an Irish woman, and so he can see his ancestry through that. And so he has a keen learning of Chinese living and some of their traditions. And so we've made the video, but it takes 6 months to make a good quality rice wine. So it's brewing at the moment. 6 months. It's brewing at the moment. We have gone through the first month. We have racked it over. And I'm really excited about that because I've actually tasted his and it tastes really good. And so we've made about 20 litres. And so between us, we'll be sharing it. So
What, the whole 20 litres? No.
Oh, 10 each. And then we're going to have it on our normal brew tasting.
That'd be nice.
In July next year, around June, July, August.
I tell you, it's going to be a happy and a busy New Year for yourself. I'm looking at all those videos. It's a lot of content that's going to come out, which is very good.
There's a lot. You can see, I'm still trying to work out my tiny homes video. That's going to be brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so guys, I think I'm going to finish up.
Yep.
And
got last comment just from TCC saying, Merry Christmas to the 4,000 subscribers that support this channel. Thank you for all your support. And
Very
indeed,
good.
thank you.
I'd like to say a very special thank you to my agape. Agape means in Greek, my love. That is my wife, Tina. We don't usually say her name on video just to make it, make it mysterious.
Nah.
Anyway, I want to thank her. I do a lot. She gets upset when I'm hurting, and she has to go through a lot. I do need her support. She does support me.
Yep.
Sometimes she does get upset when, as I said, when I'm doing it. Her support drops a bit because she doesn't want me to hurt. So she does love me, and I know that.
She's a very selfless woman.
Very good woman, and thank you guys, and thank you for my agape for saying that about the subscribers. We've just reached 4,000. There are a lot of YouTubers out there. In actual fact, I learnt the figure the other day. It could be slightly off, but there's 100 million YouTubers.
Wow.
Now, out of the 100 million, only 10 million will make the 1,000 subscribers as you need to become monetized. So we are monetized. Now, out of the 10 million, did I say 10 million?
Yep, 10 million.
10 million. Out of the 10 million, not many actually hit the big time. So I do ask, if I can please ask you, if you can share my videos, if you're getting anything good out of them, if you like the content, if you can share with me advice, that'd be good because I do not know everything. I am not the know-all. What I am is I share with people what I know that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so and what works for me may not work for everyone because they have different techniques. And I want you to share with me ideas. I do take them on board. I love learning. If you know anything about me, I love learning. I do everything on this video: sewing, cooking, chickens, tractors. I love it. I love the building. The building is my life.
Beers.
And beers, brews.
Oh,
But guys, without you, there is no YouTube channel.
You can see the passion in your videos coming through the videos.
Thanks,
it's not a job. It's more of a vocation for you. It's
a vocation.
It's an enjoyment for. It's something that you love to do, and you can see it. So
But I can't keep going unless people like Joseph and McCool help me to cope with it.
Yep.
And I do need an income. I've got to be honest. I'm not going to lie about it.
Of course.
I need an income. So I can make more videos if I get more support and more people watching. So if you can share these videos, it'd be great.
Yep.
And that's only if you like them. Do not share them if you don't like them. I don't want you to fool yourself. I really want you to watch them if you like them. And if there's anything I can correct on my videos, please tell me in a positive way, in a very friendly way. I always take it on board, everything, always. And so, Louie, this is your maiden voyage today coming on this channel.
It's very good. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it, and
No
I
problem.
thank you very much. And I seriously want to make a video with you. There's a lot there, so we're going to have to wait a little while. But George is on the list. He's a priority, and I'm waiting for him to give me the go-ahead. He's got a few things going on in his life. A few prayers for George with his family. Both these guys have sick children. So they're really good guys, and thank you for coming tonight. I know it was a sacrifice for both of you. And saying that, we're both Where the three of us are going to go watch a movie now upstairs in the theatre room.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you.
And guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
And speak to you soon.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
guys.
Take
Merry
care.
Christmas.